Hey, welcome back to our onboarding series. Now that we've covered the basics of getting set up and covered eCard customization and branding in the first two videos, we're ready to explore the advanced features of widgets, from themes, customization options, custom CSS, pay to send and gift to send, recipient directory, custom opt-in checkbox, and more. Let's start by exploring the widget options. Navigate to the Widgets tab, then click Add Widget. When you open the widget builder, you'll notice several options and tabs on the left side. This is for customizing and managing your widget. And on the right side, you'll notice the preview area. This will display a preview of your widget and eCards. And there you can interact and test it out as you customize and make changes on the left. So first, let's save our widget and add a couple eCards real quick. So I'm just going to grab a couple cards here. Let's see. Let's do some team recognition for this. There we go. There's a card. And we'll save that. And then we're going to add another card. And for this card, let's just add another one of those. And save. Okay, now that we've got our cards added, let's go back to the General tab. And we can just leave the widget name set to whatever you want. That's just for your own use. And then you can choose the theme. So we've got the inline theme, and this displays the form on the page without any pop-ups. Of course, you can change which card is selected. You've got the grid gallery, where the sender can choose their design. The form pops up in a pop-up. And then you've got masonry gallery. And then you can also change the language. There we go. So you can see that it's now in German. If I view this, you can see it's all translated. I'm going to leave it in English. And the accent color. So we can change the accent color, purple or something like that. So there you go. And then go to, we've already taken a look at the share tab, but again, this is where you have a public page link that you can share with anyone you want to be able to send these cards, or you can embed it on your website or anywhere else for people to send from. And optionally, you've got WordPress, and you can even attach them to products in Shopify to be sold. Then you've got the customization area. And so here you've got plenty of options. You've got where you can adjust the thumbnail size to fit or to cover. In this case, these are sized to fit. But if we change the thumbnail height, for instance, so you can see that there's kind of a background. I can change it so the default has this kind of blurry background. But if I go to like black, there you go. Now you've got this black background. And I could actually use the thumbnail display to like cover it. So now you can see that it's cut off though. So fit means the image will be fit in there. And so you can actually just adjust the thumbnail height to kind of match as well. So thumbnail height, the display, the fit, and the background, those are good thumbnail controls to allow you to kind of adapt to your thumbnails and your eCard images. Hover text is the text right here. So whenever I hover, I could just say, instead of leaving it to the default, which is share, I could set it to like click here. There you go. So then you can customize that. A caption on the thumbnail. So you could add something down below to maybe make it clear to senders that they can click to send. So click to send. I'm just going to put that in there. And so you can have that optionally. And you can, tell it how many cards you want per row. So if I do 1, it's going to have 1 here and 1 here. But let's go ahead and keep it at 2. If you have a lot of cards, you can adjust that as well. And you can also decide how many cards you want per page. So if I want to do one per page, and then I can just go back here. Then I have this little navigation. I can go between pages. For this use case, let's go to 2 per row. And 0 just means it'll display all, so there won't be any pagination. Here you've got sending options to allow. So by default, we show all the options. So you've got the share tab. It's got the ability you've got social media options. You've got the ability to download, generate a link, and also the email option. You can actually limit it to just email. And so that gets rid of the share tab, or you can do email and social media. So that gets rid of the link stuff, or you can just have it limited to just generating a link, allowing for home printing and downloading. So those are some options there. And then you have custom CSS. So here you can set your own CSS. So if I want to make everything red, I can just put in a little CSS here. And now everything is completely red. But basically what this allows you to do is go beyond the limitations of our software so that you can do whatever you need to do. So for instance, if I want to hide this text here, I just go into the CSS and then I can, this requires some CSS skills to do, of course, but then I can go in here, social share, display, none, important. You're going to want to do important on pretty much all these. If I can spell today. There we go. So, and that hid the social share section. And if I wanted to just hide that label, I need to fix my CSS, and let's do that. There you go. Now the label's gone. So this customized widget CSS gives you lots of flexibility with our platform. All right. And then you also have the option to hide the Powered by eCardWidget labels, and you'll see those in the eCard and in the form and in the emails. So if you want to turn that off, you can go to your account settings, and here you can click the hide Powered by eCardWidget from widgets and eCards, and then just save your changes. And then if we go back to our widget, now the message is gone. And that covers the Customize tab, and then email options. So if you want to limit each sender on how many eCards they can send per session, or if you are using the e-commerce options, you can limit per order. So if I want to limit it to 5 eCards, now the sender is limited to how many eCards they can email or share. Then you've got the read receipt option. So right here, the sender can get notified whenever the recipient opens the card. So if I want to turn that off, I can just shut that off, and then it's out of the form. Also, when I get notified with an email notifying me that the recipient has opened the card, there will be a link for me to be able to go send more cards. So I can turn that off, or I can leave that on. All right, so in the e-commerce tab, we've got the ability to charge for cards. So that's our give to send or pay to send type feature, where the sender is able to pay to send a card or share it via social media or just generate a link. So that's a great way to get donations and that kind of stuff. So we do have the built-in Stripe form for collecting payments. And we also have a Shopify app where you can attach, let's see. So we pull up the demo store. The way that the Shopify app works is you attach it to your product. So I've got this product, I've got the eCard attached to it, and I can, as a customer in the store, I can preview it, I can fill out this form, and then I can add it to my cart. Once I check out through Shopify, the eCard will be sent. So that's how that part works. Yeah, so for the most flexibility, we recommend using our built-in Stripe integration, and it allows you to, set up donation options and allows you to charge per card. So you can set a flat rate per card, or you can allow donors or users to choose the amount they want to pay to send the card. So before setting up your e-commerce options, you need to connect with Stripe. So we can just click this button. It'll take us over to Stripe's website. And then we just need to log in. That was easy. Now I'm connected with Stripe. However, it is letting me know that my Stripe account is not active yet because I didn't fill out and add the information that it needed for the business. So I can just do this later. I can go back and just activate it. But for now, I now can turn on donation options. So you can see here, it allows me as the sender to select the amount I want to give. And then I can fill out it collects the billing information, and then I can go ahead and pay to send this for the amount selected. When it comes to this, you can set the different amounts you want to offer. So 5, 10, 25. So now I just changed it to those amounts, and I can add, whatever amount I want to that list. And then I can also allow the sender to choose a custom amount that they want to give. And I can also turn that off. So you can also make it to where, as the sender adds multiple recipients, you can actually add a multiplier so that the sender is charged for every recipient they add. So this is especially good with flat rate. So if you set, a flat rate for each card, you set your price, and then let's see. So now when I click on this, I've got $5 as the total. So, as I add multiple recipients, if I turn on the charge per recipient, it will, basically just multiply that. So $5 per recipient. Collecting of all this billing information is also optional. If you turn that off, it'll just collect a card number, and it will default the buyer's information to the sender's name and email that was entered up here. But for many organizations, need all the information for tracking customers and stuff and donors. You can set your currency. We can add, if there's a currency you need that's not here, we're happy to add it. You can add your support email address. This will display in the email and the receipt email that the sender will receive after paying. You can change what's displayed above the payment form. So if I click, or if I enter, there you go. So here you can add your text above, and of course you can format it however you like, and you can add like additional images and content. You can also update the email receipt. So the email receipt will include the amount they gave and information like that, but you can also add additional text to it. And I can also do a test. So if I want to, just do a test eCard. And so you can also test. So you can turn on this test mode, and this little warning will pop up saying that it's in test mode. What this does is it allows you to use the test card, which is this 4242 number. So if I put in the 4242 number, zip code, and then I can go ahead and click pay. And there you go. Payment was successful. You will receive a receipt via email. Your eCard is on its way. The next feature I want to show you is our directory feature. And here you can turn it on and turn on for the widget to where the directory options will show up here. So instead of manually entering a recipient's email, the sender would be able to choose from a predefined list that you populate for them to select from. So this actually is set up here. You can turn it on, but you manage your directory recipients from the directory tab. So this is great for team recognition. It's very flexible for all types of different use cases that you may come up with. The way this works is you can import a list of your predefined recipients or team members. You just upload your spreadsheet, and you can download that sample as well. So we can just go ahead and add a couple people to the directory. So all you need is a name and an email. Let's see, so if I add a date of birth, let's see. And we've got this automated eCard feature as well on top of all this. And we're going to add more for like automated holiday cards and automated anniversary cards. But right now we started with birthdays, and you can turn this on, and any person in the directory with a birthday set or defined, you can set it up to where they would receive a random birthday card. And I can go ahead and turn that on. And so now on my birthday, here, May 25th, I would receive that card. Let's go back to our widget, go back to that directory tab. And if we turn this on, and now we've got the directory option, and you can see that you can select from Bob or Tim, and we can actually add more. So we can select Bob as well. And so now we've got 2 recipients added. And we can even, let's say we want to enter an email address. So we can go back to the directory tab, and we can allow the sender to manually enter an email address. So now you can see I can add emails, or I can select from the directory. And I can also decide who I can limit this widget to certain team members be in the directory. And anyway, that's an advanced feature, I know, but just throwing it out there. All right, so now let's go take a look at adding a custom checkbox. So if you go over to settings, app settings, you can turn on the opt-in checkbox. And so this is great. If you want to have people be able to join your mailing list or agree to terms or whatever it is, you can have this, you can customize this checkbox, and you can make it required so that they can't submit the form until they check it, or you can just make it optional. And then I can go ahead and save changes. So now if I go back to my widget, now that I've turned on the opt-in checkbox, and I pull up that form, now I've got this checkbox where I can opt in, and that'll be tracked in the system. So over in the email logs, we can see if they've opted in or not. And you have, of course, more options in the app settings. You've got, you can view the sender email and the recipient email address. You can also get bind, cover, and copied on all emails going out. You can add a custom domain for customizing. Instead of using eCardWidget.com, you can white label your domain, and you can also customize the email address that eCards are sent from instead of eCardWidget and eCardWidget.com. We also have a custom language feature where you can override our included translations. And that is it. So that's an overview of how to utilize advanced widget features to elevate your campaigns. For more detailed tutorials, check out our other videos in Knowledge Base. And thanks for watching, and happy sending.